Hi, I am Sheikh Mahbub Basha. Welcome to my channel. Happy learning.
Hi students, welcome. This is 9th class, chapter 2, Laws of Motion. Welcome to period 10. In the previous classes, we have learned about the Newton's laws and few applications in our daily life. We have also solved a few numerical problems. And then we understood the law of conservation of momentum, and we have derived the expression for the conservation of momentum in case of two-body system, which is m1u1 plus m2u2 is equal to m1v1 plus m2v2. Today, let us move to the impulse, concept of impulse. Before we define what is impulse and what is its formula and SI units, etc., let us first start with the Newton's second. According to Newton's second law, the net force acting on a body is equal to the rate of change of momentum. So F is equal to delta P by delta T, or you can write F is equal to delta P by delta T. From this equation, F is equal to delta P by delta T. It is clear that the force is inversely proportional to the time, in fact, the time of action, provided the change in momentum is a constant. So for a given change in momentum, the magnitude of force is inversely proportional to the time of action. To understand this, let me explain you with an example. Suppose your friend has thrown a ball, let it be cricket ball, and you are supposed to catch that ball. Okay? The ball is moving with a momentum P, and you want to catch that, and you want to stop that ball. That means you are trying to make the momentum zero. Initially, the momentum of the ball is P, and by holding it in your hands, you are trying to stop that ball, so final momentum of the ball will be zero. Then what is the change in momentum? Change in momentum will be final momentum minus initial momentum, or you can say initial momentum minus final momentum. We are interested in magnitude. Okay, P minus 0 is the change in momentum. Okay. So, the ball was moving with a momentum P, and you have stopped by catching it with your hands. So, the change in momentum is P. Now, if you stop the ball abruptly, suddenly, then the time you have given to hold that ball in your hands is very, very small, and as time is very small, the magnitude of force, the force with which the ball hits your palms, will be more. Suppose if you catch the ball slowly, suppose you are catching the ball slowly like this. If you pull your hands back while catching the ball, what do you notice? You will be less hurt by this ball because you have increased the time of action. Instead of stopping the ball suddenly, you are pulling your hands back while catching the ball. In both the cases, ball was coming with momentum P and finally it is stopped. So change in momentum is P. In both the cases, change in momentum is P. But if you hold the body, if you stop the body abruptly, suddenly, then as the time is less, more force will act on your hands, on your palms. If you pull your hands back while catching the ball, then you are increasing the time of action. By the increase of time, F value will be decreased because the change in momentum delta P is a constant here. So wherever momentum is constant, the force magnitude is depending on the time of action. Less the time, more is the magnitude of force. More the time, less is the magnitude of the force. Right? So these type of forces which acts for a very short interval of time are called impulsive forces. Large force acting for short time period is called an impulsive force. Okay? Right. Now, the Newton's second law, F is equal to delta P by delta T. On cross multiplication, you will get F into delta T is equal to delta P. Force F into time of action delta T is equal to change in momentum delta P. So this left hand side, force into time, F into delta T is called as impulse. Force into time is called impulse. And impulse is a vector. Its unit is Newton second. Unit for force is Newton and unit for time is second. So impulse I is equal to force into time. I is equal to F into T. So the unit is Newton second. It is a vector. So numerically it is equal to the change in momentum. Impulse is equal to change in momentum numerically, whereas this impulse unit is Newton per second and change in momentum unit will be kg meter per second. Okay, so these applications of this impulsive force are the bikes, the vehicles, motorcycles, trains, buses, cars, etc. All the vehicles are provided with the shock absorbers. The springs above the wheels are called shock absorbers. Whenever the vehicle passes through a speed breaker, through some disturbance, it gets some shock, it gets some jerk, and while facing a jerk, these springs, which are called as shock absorbers, provided on the wheels, increase the time of action. What is the use of these springs? What is the use of these shock absorbers? They increase the time of action. By the increase of time of action, as we have discussed till now, force will decrease. So more the time of action, less will be the force. So the use of shock absorbers is to increase the time, thereby decreasing the force. Right? Next. Suppose you are jumping from certain height. If you jump onto a hard concrete surface, you will be hurt. Instead of that, if you jump from the same height into sand, then the sand will give you a increase in time of action. You will be slowly stopped by this sand, thereby the force magnitude will be decreased. Similarly, the athletes used to take their high jump and fall onto the cushion beds they increase the time of action and they decrease the force, impulsive force. So the athletes will be less hurt. So these cushion beds are used to increase the time of action and thereby to decrease the magnitude of the force. Let us do an activity. Take 2x, drop one egg from certain height onto a concrete floor. Okay, it will break. You can notice that. Then use a cushion pillow and now drop the other egg onto the cushion pillow from the same height from where you have dropped initially. This time the egg falling onto the cushion pillow will be safe. It won't break because the cushion of this pillow gives a more time of action which will reduce the magnitude of the force. So the more the time of action, less will be the magnitude of the impulsive force. So this is the concept behind the shock absorbers. The cricketer pulling his hands while taking a catch. We prefer to jump onto the sand instead of onto a concrete floor. The athletes use cushion beds. The vehicles are fitted with shock absorbers. These are all related to impulse. By increasing the time, you are reducing the magnitude of the force. Okay, this is all for now. So this is the end of this chapter, laws of motion, and we will have few numerical problems in your next class. Till then, take care. Thank you.